Hey, today let's look at 3-string and 4-string patterns on the guitar. And there's a lot of other options and other ways of looking at creating scales and arpeggios and stuff like that. But if you think in terms of 3 and 4-string patterns, what I mean is that it either would take 3 strings to complete an octave or it would take 4. And with only assigning 1 finger per fret, so I'm not doing like stretch positions, the 3-string pattern for a major scale would be created in, well, any scale would actually be created by starting with your 1st or 2nd finger. If you start with your 3rd or 4th finger, then it would take 4 strings to complete an octave without stretching your hand out. So for a major scale, a C major scale, the pattern, I'm going to do a C major at the 8th fret. If I assign 1 finger per fret, it goes 2, 4 on the 6th string, 1, 2, 4 on the 5th, 1, 3, 4 on the 4th. So 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. That completes an octave. Now, if I try to create a 4-string pattern, I'm going to either start with my 3rd or 4th. In the case of a C major scale, I'll start with my 4th finger, and on the 6th string, 4, on the 5th, 1, 3, 4, on the 4th, 1, 3, and then I shift down 1 fret, 1, 2. So I do that shift because I don't want to stretch my hand for this example. So it takes 4 strings to complete an octave. And what's interesting about looking at it in terms of 3 and 4-string patterns is this thing that happens that where a 4-string pattern ends, a 3-string pattern begins. So you can basically create all of your positions, all your different areas of the neck, just in terms of looking at that 3-string pattern. Where it ends, a 4-string pattern begins. And it's the same pattern as what we created down here. The only thing you got to watch out for is that the tuning between the G and the B string, you have to compensate for that. So this pattern becomes starts out the same way, 4, 1, 3, 4. But instead of 1, 3 here, which I did down on the 6th string, it becomes a 2, 4. You shift everything up 1 fret to compensate for the tuning between the G and the B string being a 3rd as opposed to a 4th. So I can also connect 2 3-string patterns, take that C major scale 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, put my 2nd finger where I finished off the pattern, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, adjust for tuning, 1, 3, 4, and I create sort of a diagonal pattern. So that's what the C major scale looks like, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, or 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, shift down 1 fret, 1, 2. But any of the other modes, scales, whatever you want to look at, you could just make the adjustment if you know the numbers that you need to know in order to create, say, a Dorian mode, a Phrygian mode, Lydian, whatever it happens to be, or different scales, harmonic minor, melodic minor, the list goes on and on. So hopefully that's interesting and helpful. The way I can see this really being helpful is looking at how to potentially color chords, because right where you are in a voice, whatever the voicing happens to be, you can see how to play that particular scale at that placement, and you're not like going back and thinking, oh, a C major scale down here and then I work my way up the neck. You can directly get to maybe what you want to be playing right around that spot. So here's just comping kind of a Latin bossa nova thing with that C major. this is that's a 3. So if I wanted to go down from there, I'm just going to be thinking going down a 4-string pattern. Now I run out of strings. If I had a 7-string, I could get that C down on the root of the 7th string, but I'm playing with the 6 here. So, all right. Last thing is I'm going to aim the video at, hopefully you can see that. That is a list of some of the most commonly used, certainly not all, but some of the scales that you might want to explore using a 3- and 4-string pattern. All right, have a good one.